So I'm in this training this week, and this guy was invited to speak, and what he spoke about was pretty interesting. And what he said was, there are 7 stories out in the world about me. 6 of those stories come from other people, and the one comes from him. Hi, I'm Holly, and I'm sharing a part of my journey to bring courage and inspire you on yours. And this really spoke to me because this has exactly been my life. From the time I would have been, what, 18? About 18. And this one guy, I was friends with this one guy, and he's like, oh, you know my brother. I was like, actually, I didn't even know you had a brother. And he's like, oh, his name's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I know him. And he's like, yeah, he said you guys smoke weed together. And I was like, well, maybe I need to meet your brother, because no idea. And I met him, and I was like, so you said that you know me and that we hang out? And he's like, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I go to a bar in Toronto, again, around 18 years old. And I'm at this place. Most of the time I went to Toronto when I was younger, it was for raves, like drum and bass parties. And I'm there, and these 2 girls come up to me. They're like, oh my God, are you Holly Richardson? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, anyways, well, back then it would have been 45 minutes to an hour from home. Now it would take like 2 hours because of construction and rush hour. And this idea that people need to speak about you and create stories about you, and the people around them believing the stories rather than coming directly to you and asking the questions, and getting the info straight from source. And so when he was speaking about this, he didn't get too deep into it. He just basically stated the initial, that the fact that there was 7 stories out there about him, and 6 were from other people. And so I just want you to remember that no matter what you choose in your life, people are always going to speak about you. And people are more attracted to drama and negativity, as I proved when I did one of my videos. My title was quite controversial, as I used a tagline from a video that I was expressing my perspective on, and I got 1,800 views in like less than 24 hours, and a whole bunch of people disliked the video, and they didn't even watch the video, they just disliked it just because they saw the title. This is, okay, and that's back when I would get like, I don't get a lot of views on my videos, so I had, some of them would get like a couple hundred views, but most would be like between 10 and 37, let's say. And so this one video got over 1,800 views. And I was like, man, no wonder, no wonder everyone that came up against Eminem got famous, because they talk poop about Eminem. And no wonder that this is exactly how Hollywood works, is the negativity, and it draws people in. And we live in such a complaint-driven society that you can't even go up to your neighbor to say, hey, I just saw this dog wandering, do you know whose it might be? Instead, people get on Facebook right away. Hey, I just called the pound. If this is yours, it's gone. You're going to have to pay a fine to get it out of jail. People, they just love to complain. Oh my gosh. And so I thought it was quite interesting that I'm not the only person that this happens to, that other people are going through the same thing as me, where when you choose a different path that goes against the path everybody else wants you to be on, and when you leave them and to sit in their misery and they get to figure their life out without you, then people want to talk about you because you're no longer there. You're no longer helping them. They're no longer feeding off you. It's crazy. Finding out that my son's father told everyone I was a one-night stand trying to get pregnant for child support. Now, that was a new one. And that was 9 years after we were hanging out and working on the same job site together and talking about having a family, and him telling me a whole script that he was separated because his wife cheated on him with his brother-in-law, who then died a year later. And I'm just like, why do these people come up with this stuff? Like, get off the soap operas. Anyways, no matter what you choose in your life, know that people are going to talk about you no matter what. Who cares? Seriously, who cares? Okay? As long as you are working towards taking accountability in your life, putting some concrete action in there where you're baby steps, okay? Don't burn yourself out. You put your concrete action down, do some daily non-negotiables, what you are going to work towards, and when you're in that space of isolation, when you've removed yourself from all the toxic people, places, things, addiction to anything that's out there, in the isolation, in the void, this is where you find you. And this is where you're able to finally be like, whoa, it wasn't me. It was the crazy people that I chose to have in my life. And guess what? You chose that. So don't blame or shame anybody. Don't blame or shame yourself. Learn the lessons and forward movement. Mwah. Bliss for each and every one of you.